Welcome back, folks. If you're just joining us, in the studio is no other than Mr. Lesmo Smith and Mr. Dwight Klein from the BVI Horse Owners Association, and we're going to talk about these big races that's coming up this weekend. No stranger to horse racing and television, Mr. Smith. I'm going to jump right on you right away. Why so late?
Good evening, Mr. Klein. Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Paul on the ball.
Good evening. Great to have
my
you.
colleague Dwight. I'm happy to be here. Good evening, listening audience.
Yes.
Why so late?
Why so late?
The Bible said the best wine was served last.
There you go.
Oh, man.
So at the end of the day, you always have to leave something good for the folks.
But you know, he always has something to hit me with, you know. But anyhow, we're talking horse racing. There's a lot of talk in the air, thing to talk, so to speak.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk. As you know, on January 26th, which is Sunday, we have 6 exciting races. 4 of those races I am defending. I have horses competing, and I'm going to represent the BVI to its best. And we have horses from St. Thomas and St. Croix. We welcome them. St. Croix is already here. For those of you that are worrying and wondering, St. Croix is already here. The horses for the big races, they're here. They're coming to take our $20,000, but you have to come down Cheraston to be sure that that doesn't happen. And we're going to do our best. As you know, Town Hall and Gamekeeper, we are there to see if we can retain and hold that money, or sorry, keep that money in the BVI by any means necessary. And we will do our best to defend it.
No, I'm glad that you cleared that up for us, because I heard you say they're coming to take our money away, but now I understand you know what? Let's jump right into it. Dwight, give us the lineup for. We have 6 exciting races, as he just said. Give us the lineup. Let's see what's going on.
Okay.
Here we go.
We have 6 exciting races for Sunday, January 26th. The first race, the Eileen Passing Classic, 6.5 furlong for Class D and E horses. We have Man from the Hill, Don't Hook My Halo, making her debut at the St. Croix. We have Dashra making his debut, and Priority Express. Race number 2, the Oliver Sale Showdown, 7 furlong for Class C and D horses. 1 Unguided Missile out of St. Croix, but he did not make that trip. Shot the Bandit out of St. Thomas. Power 10, Good Boy Daddy, What's Popping out of St. Thomas. Clutch out of St. Croix, but he did not make that trip. Race number 3, the Patsy Lake Invitational, 7 furlong for fillies and mare, Class C and D horses. We have Selena So Mad making her debut at St. Thomas. We have True Essence, Orithia, Miss Homer, and Peacefully out of St. Croix did not make the trip. Race number 4, the William Reimer Rumble, 1 mile for Class C and D horses. We have Tiger Glide out of St. Thomas, Bye Bye Bye, Square One, Blossom March out of St. Croix, he did not make the trip. Where's Gap out of St. Thomas, and Mr. Gold Prospect also out of St. Thomas. In the 5th race, Accelerator Special, 1 mile for mare and fillies, Class A and B horses. We have Stephen Got Better out of St. Thomas. Holy Baba out of St. Croix, she did not make the trip. We have Merula out of St. Thomas, and Extra Den out of St. Croix also did not make the trip. The final race of the day, this is a big race. The Turtle Dove Classic, 1 and 1 16 mile for Class A and B horses. Number 1, we have Brass Note making his debut at St. Croix. Rough and Royal making his debut at St. Croix. Break Up the Game making his debut at St. Thomas. We have Gamekeeper, Town Hall, and Edge Ahead making his debut at St. Thomas also.
Folks, there you have it. And I want to hear Mr. Smith's defense on that last race. I heard a lot of names calling there.
But you see, Dub, I'm going into this race as the underdog.
Like you always do.
Always the underdog. But I love being in that position because it gives me more energy to do what I have to do best. And I think sometimes the horses listen to the negative and they perform better. They say animals can't relate, but I can tell you animals are very smart being, and they are very good in ensuring that when they're back against the wall, they help us as the owners not to leave us in the mud. So I think hopefully I'll be out of the mud. I should have a good task at hand. I must also at this point, Dub, as you know, send public condolences from behalf of the committee to our president, Mrs. Aaron. And I believe she's listening or watching us at this moment. And let her know that we as a committee is there behind her 110. And this race, I think we would also make it even better to honor her for all the work she have done in showing that we pull it off. So I'll put that in there.
I too would like to say publicly that condolences to the Aaron family. I mean, Enos and I have grown up together. We did so much together, and you know, losing a son, I can't say what it is, but you know, I feel your pain, and I, like I say, my condolences go out to you guys, and I'm hoping that something good comes out of the whole of this, even if it's a statement for the younger folks who are riding without helmets, like we always say. I mean, guys, come on, you know. How many more we have to lose in order for this to stop? Please, please, I'm begging you guys, take heed. We're back to horse racing though.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, it should be a good, and a lot of people commend us. They say it's a very good card. I commend our racing secretary, Mr. Dwight Klein, for putting up with us at times, because it's very challenging when we two as horse owners, I'm the vice president, but also a horse owner, challenge his position when he take one to say, well, this is where I'm putting the horse. Sometimes we challenge, why do we have to go there? And he, you know, it's very tough from his standpoint as the racing secretary,
Putting up with you guys.
putting up with us, along with trying to get the card put together. So I commend him for a job well done. And I think we as a team, we are working, as you heard in the Basketball Association, to make horse racing better in the BVI and in the Virgin Islands as a whole. And I think with the extension that we have made, trying to get Cinco here by extending a barge services to get them, and we are very much disappointed that we didn't get more than what came, 3 horses. But you know, in my growing up, my grandmother said you can take a cow to the water, but you can't make him drink. But we take the water to the cow, but the cow still didn't drink. So at the end of the day, it's one of those things in the sport. We can't control what other persons do. But we are still asking the general public to be there for us. Come out, have fun. Let's make it a family day. Meet old friends, greet new ones, and go forward positively as we all celebrate trying to make horse racing one of our oldest traditional local sport in the BVI a success.
No, there was a lot of talk, Town Hall. He met you last race day.
Yeah,
He beat you last race day.
not last, the race day before.
The race day before. He
Yeah.
beat you last race day. And for you folks who just joining us, please, the lines are open. If you guys want to call and share your opinions, share your ideas, share your suggestions, let us know who your favorite are. I'm right now talking to the vice president himself and the horse owner about Town Hall and your big horse.
Well, what happened is, you know, the first time Town Hall and Gamekeeper met, I wasn't in good shape. I had an issue. I worked on it. Dwight, he inspired me a whole lot. Fix your problem before you go back to fight war.
That's right.
And I work on it. I think we're in good shape now. I'm not saying he can't beat me again, but I'm saying the challenge of him now having to beat me gonna be more intense. I welcome break up the game out of St. Thomas and Edge Ahead. If you listen to the names, they are very competitive names.
Of course.
But you know, in everything there must be a keeper. Sports, there is a sport keeper.
Paul?
So I have to ensure that I keep the game. So I will be that person. I'm the referee and the
Paul?
scorekeeper.
You heard him, eh?
I'm listening to him. You know, it's most certainly will be an extremely interesting race, and we're looking forward to seeing the crowds come out for that sixth and final for all the races, of course, because race 5, the Accelerator Special, is going to be a very nice race as well. But of course, people like the feature race, and I gotta also commend the racing secretary for putting that the feature race as the last race. We never used to do that.
Exactly.
The last race. And I think it's a clever thought, and I don't know where it came from, but I'm assuming one of the things that brought that about is a change in time, because we've been forced to change our times because of the the badge and what have you. So I think that's part of the reason, but it's also a very skilled move because it now keeps the crowd there right to the very end because they have to stay, because the race that they want to see is the Turtle Dove Classic, and it's the last race, and it's going to be good. And I think, you know, I'm gonna call my horse in this race now because I'm brave enough to do that.
Please.
I'm going for number 1. I think Gail People's gonna go this race. That's my personal
But
feeling.
you know what? Before
Watch for, break up the game, look for break up the game in 2, and I think that you're gonna see Town Hall down in 3 or 4.
now,
I've called it.
now, folks, before we get any responses, I want to take a break. We're going to come right back.
To get a breath.
We're going to come right back, and we're going to deal with that situation that Paul just predicted. Okay, so we're going to take a break and be right back with a word from our sponsors.
Sports Desk is sponsored by Lime, the better, faster 4G network.
And they come around and start to get an even break wall. Hustling to the front is Tom Hall. Right there is bye on the outside, Mr. Gold Prospect. It is Tom Hall in front by head. And the outside is bye and Mr. Gold Prospect. As they hit the bend for the first time, it is still Tom Hall alongside the rail. In between the horses. Bye on the outside, Mr. Gold Prospect. They are across the track like a rocket. In between horses now. That's bye by Tom Hall saying not yet. And the 3 horses them across the line with Mr. Gold Prospect on the outside. This is a beautiful race so early. In between horses, bye, alongside the rail. It is all Mr. Gold Prospect on the outside in 25 and 2. It is all 3 horses that lock on. They glued together the turn to the top of the set for the first time. And inside Tom Hall. In between horses, bye. And the outside, Mr. Gold Prospect. And the paddle running grand stop for the second time. In between horses, it is bye, Mr. Gold Prospect. A half in 50 flat and they hit the bend for the second time. It's an even race so far. It is all Tom Hall. Bye, and Mr. Gold Prospect. And they turn up the bend for the third time. It is still Tom Hall. Right there, here comes Mr. Gold Prospect with bye. Now the race picking up in the deep stretch. It is still Tom Hall. Right there, bye. Here comes Mr. Gold Prospect. But Tom Hall tell him, put on your running shoes now. There it goes. Tom Hall at 116 and 2. It is Tom Hall. Here comes bye. It is bye on the outside. And here comes Tom Hall. Tom Hall turns the top of the set. A spectacular straight drive. It is Tom Hall. Right there is bye. Mr. Gold Prospect trying to go in. There it goes. Tom Hall. There's going to be an important meeting. Bye coming after him. It's going to be Tom Hall and he leads to the wire. Tom Hall in front. Right there second. There's bye and Mr. Gold Prospect.
Race of Town Hall and bye. Boxing Day races. As you can see, Paul, Town Hall doesn't look so bad in the race.
Well, I never said he looked bad, but when I look at a race, I observe, I've learned from Pico, you observe the jockey and you observe the head movements of the horse.
So what have you seen so far? Give me your evaluation since you're a horse specialist now.
Well, I never said I was a horse specialist, but like I said, based on what I've heard Pico say, who is very much a horse specialist, and he has taught me to observe the jockey. He thinks the way the jockey rides the horse is very important. If you watch really Uptown's races, a lot of his races, the jockey doesn't even get off of the horse. He doesn't stand up. That jockey there was up high from early, and if you look at the motion of the horse wasn't fluid. No, there's been a lot of time between now and then. 4 weeks in a horse can be a lot of time. So they could have made a lot of changes. And I'll buy that. I'm pleased, owners of Town Hall, I must say he's not a quality horse. I haven't said that. But I have just said that the way that the horse ran the race, to me, didn't impress me as a certain quality horse, if we're talking about a really Uptown and that kind of level. He hasn't quite impressed me as that. The jockey had to work the horse very hard. That's the point.
From my observation, looking at the race, from what I see bye made 2 jolts at him, and he's just a steady paced horse. He's to me, I don't know if he gets a competition, if he has that where you could, I think we have a call. We probably just stirred up some problems here. But let's see what's going
Let's
on.
hope not, but we'll take the call.
Good evening, you're on the sports desk. Hello? Talk to me. Talk to me. I hear.
Remind Paul and Barry
Uh-huh.
that break up the game and talk hard already. Because you should be able to break up the game, remember the one and talk hard break up the game. I guess you remember that.
Yeah. I ain't got a problem with that. I did, but I'm
But now you don't want to keep talking about no respect or talk, but you're giving break up the game all this respect.
well, I actually put my money on Gamekeeper. I don't know if you missed that point.
I'm a gamekeeper.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Feda,
Keeper, I don't understand. Explain to me.
Well, let me explain to you. You see your lesbo sitting? You can't see under the table, right?
my good friend, I had nothing to do with it.
I'm a witness.
I want you to know I had nothing to do with
I'm
it.
a witness that I'm fed up.
I'm not instigating or initiating anything. The gentleman have his view, and I said that I'm in a competitive race, and I'm hoping to win like you.
Fella.
Me even worrying about gamekeeper. I say nothing between gamekeeper because it have also for saying Korean Center because that's no interest anyhow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying game people still have to come and catch you?
Right? But because you going to be but
Fella, I got a question for you though. In your estimation, now think about not just being the house owner. Yeah, I wanted to looking at the race and seeing how the jockey ran the race. Do you not feel that the horse had to work really hard in that race to win it?
We're talking about the Boxing Day race, fella.
Listen, you know the house was at his best in boxing races.
Yes.
The house is one of the best in boxing races.
Right.
The house was probably 60%.
Okay.
So Sunday he gonna be at 80%.
Okay.
You go to City Coin for Friday, he gonna be close to 100%.
Right.
So you go to the race talk on Sunday. Trust me.
Well, after Sunday's race,
We will talk about
then
it
I will
again.
change my attitude at town hall. Convince me on Sunday.
I'll be talking because of you, Paul.
Yes, please.
I'll be calling you, Paul. Trust me.
You have my number.
You don't expect him not to never go make you. He don't make you respect him.
Okay.
That's what you're looking for. That's what you're looking for. I see you got less more quiet.
And I just said to I finished.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is an easy race. You're going to be easy. You're going to be easy. It's an easy race. Trust me. Easy.
So gamekeepers in there just for
You
fun?
don't be there by more than 3 hours second. That's disappointment for me.
Wow.
That's high expectation, fella. But I like the spirit.
I'm telling you. You're right. That's exactly what you're going to say, Paul. You're going to say, wow. Just say that. You're going to say, wow.
I'll be there.
We are going to be there. We are having live too.
Alright.
All right, my brother.
Oh dear. Well, obviously, Carl didn't want to hear the last comment, so he cut him off. We apologize for that.
I wanted to hear from Dwight. We haven't heard anything from Dwight in a long time. What are your predictions on that feature race?
To be honest with you, as a race secretary,
He can't predict.
I don't want to predict.
No,
I want
okay,
a body
okay.
feel that bias.
Yeah, you're in bias. You're the one. Okay, Lord, we have another one coming.
I wouldn't ask for this because to predict. And I wouldn't ask Les more.
Good evening on the sports desk. Talk to me.
Hello.
Yes, talk to me on sports desk.
Come in, Carl. Listen.
Uh-huh.
Tell them how you say Happy New Year.
Uh-huh.
They say happy.
Uh-huh.
Let them know that he's going to get his bag and then you're looking to.
I'm listening. I'm listening. Go ahead.
In a bit of a
Let them
feeling.
know he's going to get his bag and it's going to be his bag. Let them know that he's going to get his bag from Alex.
Okay. He's listening.
This is happy he's buying. And if you want to, tell him going to.
Okay, turn the TV down a little bit. Turn on the TV a little bit. We get some feedback.
Then call back. Okay.
Okay, turn on your TV and call me back.
Okay, he made his point.
Okay, that's your sound good now. Your sound good.
Well, that, he made his point.
Yes.
Ashley.
No.
No.
This is Dave.
Dave.
Oh,
Hajj,
Dave Hajj.
yeah.
Hajj.
Dub, in
Say
reference
you
to that,
look
right?
good. Say you look good.
I thank my good friends for such a call.
Yes.
2011, I wasn't supposed to be there at the Governor's Cup.
You were.
True.
I went. I won.
You defended twice.
2012, I wasn't supposed to be at the Governor's Cup. I went. I won convincingly.
Yes.
Convincingly.
Uh-huh.
So this is just another prep for another showdown. And I know the horse will come out.
Think
Not
the
me,
talk.
the
Think the
horse.
talk. Think the talk. That's it for you?
That's it for me. I'm not going to
Oh,
give him
man.
too much
Oh,
now.
man.
I want to be
No.
very, very modest about it.
Yes, absolutely.
So for those of you guys who are just checking in with us, it's pure horse talk right now. I mean, they said, well, I said better late than never.
Better late than never.
So we are here talking. Oh, somebody's calling again. So let's get this one here. Good evening. You're on the sports desk.
Yes, Carl. I love the call of them hyping. Yes, this Carl. I like the hyping the horse race, man, and that's how it's supposed to be.
Yes.
You know.
So who?
Huh?
Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I like if every owner call it like that, it will be nice, man. Let people come out and hear, the challenge between every horse owners, than having a game. I mean, he put in an input and saying nothing. I'm glad like how the other guy fed and everyone's calling in and then said they're going to beat off less more, and beat off Paul.
Well, it's $20,000 up for grabbing. I would be calling too if I was out there.
But Joe Jack, remember to tell fella that talk is cheap, eh?
If I may say to that, Mr. Penn, Jojak, Mr. Penn will break up in the game in St. John. He called in on in the game, the sports show in St. Thomas, and he said that he gonna make a donation back to us when he win the money. So everybody's going after this money.
So you're not just like think to talk and think to see.
Yeah, man. I have to pick up less more. Yeah, I have to pick up less more because he does be on St. Thomas Radio advertising, talking about horse race, and without him, we've never been going on with horse race, I have to pick him up.
But I totally agree with you. Now, win or lose, Lesbo is here. We can't get none of the other horse owners here to defend all the talk that they're talking about. I hope when this race is done, win or lose, I want to see Town Hall. We're looking for Town Hall people. We're looking for Alex and your crew. Are looking for Lesmo to come back, and we're gonna have it here live.
You see, Carl, now you're causing an ants nest.
I have another call coming.
Fede's going to say I didn't invite him on the show.
Yes, Dave, talk to me. Hello, you're the sports desk. Hello, is Alex? Is this Alex? Talk to me. Turn on your TV. Turn on your TV.
I love spirit.
Uh-huh.
I love spirit. But he gonna get beat Sunday.
So let me ask you, where is $20,000 gonna be? The $20,000 staying with us or going off island?
They're going to split half.
Explain that.
Listen, let's bring my boy, right? But Uchi and Sarah have done a good job, and they're going to come good.
Lesmo?
If I may say, my good friend Dave, good night. I never disrespected my good friend Gushi and Peda because we have a very good relationship. But it's not about us. It's about Sunday at 5 p.m. and 5 minutes after 5, we will determine who did the best training. So we leave it until Sunday, 5 minutes after 5, when the bell finish round.
You got that?
I coming to look for Lesbo tomorrow, God's I coming to look for you tomorrow, God's willing.
I know you always bring me good blessing. You came from a praying family, so I appreciate the blessing on your way.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right, my brother.
Thank you. So a lot of interest, as I predicted, in this sixth race, and yet again, before the show is out, let us reiterate what has been said before, to congratulate the racing secretary for putting such a good card together. You know, sometimes you're sitting at home and you're looking at a lot of names, and you can very easily, it can be like, if you like a jigsaw puzzle, and it's very easy to put horses in the wrong race, or apparently in people's minds, and they criticize. In this case, certainly, Dwight, you certainly got it right.
Thank you.
No,
So good job.
I want to also say to Dwight, for your sponsors, I mean, putting up $20,000 purse is a big purse, and this early of the year, knowing the kind of situation that we are, I believe you may want to thank some of the sponsors and stuff who've been making this possible for you.
Yeah, first the post for the big race started out at $15,000. But then Mrs. Patsy Lake chipped in $5,000 and she wanted to go to that race. That's why the race ended up $20,000.
Wow.
Okay. Any other sponsors for making this possible?
Let me put that on my eye.
Yeah, you need a second pair of eyes, guys.
We don't have the sponsors.
I have another call that's coming in, Paul.
Okay, we take the call, no?
Yes.
Don't worry.
Good evening, welcome to the sports desk. You have something to say? Hello?
Yeah, that's right again. You see that same $5,000 extra we talk about?
Yes.
That's exactly where we got to spend our money. That's exactly where we got to spend our money.
So, yeah.
My God.
All right.
Okay,
so,
good.
So let me help you out. In other words, Feather, now that you're listening, what you're actually saying, I think you're still on the air there.
Yeah, he's still there.
Oh no, he said he gone.
Okay,
He
he's gone now.
Yeah, no, he said he was gone. So in other words, Feather, what you're saying is that the extra $5,000 is for the Feather Benevolent Fund. But unfortunately, I think that Lesmo Smith's horse has a few other things to say about that. Right, Lesmo? Not you, your horse.
Not me, Paul.
Your horse. There you go.
And as Mr. Dwight was saying, with our sponsors, it's sponsored by Patsy Lake, Mrs. Patsy Lake, the premiers, Mr. Dr. D. Orlando Smith. I think Tourist Board also is one of our sponsors. The race have about 5 or 6 different sponsors that made up that 20,000. There's no one person, it's a little bit of every person's. The race with the mares with Mileage Them Horse, that was sponsored by Ashley Rita and James Stadman because named after, Axel.
Right.
So they contributed to ensuring,
Okay.
they pay tribute to a long horse owner,
Yes.
horse fan, and a brother and a friend. So it's, if you look at the races, the way they name the
They're
Patsy
basically-
Lake Classic,
they're
they name
basically-
after old stalwarts in the
Right,
horse
right.
racing industry.
Right.
And we did that from when we started the Triple Crown. So the Triple Crown, that's the names that we took, as the key person would be, the race would be under their names. And we never changed that. And we stayed with it up to now. So it's like we're carrying on the tradition somewhat of the Triple Crown, same aspect. And so we maintain the names of the races being sponsored by these particular persons.
No, you sparked something that I think Paul might want to touch on the same thing, the Triple Crown. What is to be made of it? Is it a...
If I may,
yes, you may.
there are some issues that derive from that. And we're hoping that next year we can do a better job of ensuring that we don't lose focus of what we started. But I think this year it's already out the door. No fault of us, whatever. We're not pointing no fingers, no direction. I'm saying we need, as big people, as adults, as committee within the 3 islands, to come back to the drawing board, not for us, but for the horse owners and the fans that come out every time to make the races what they are. because without fans, there's no races. We go out there running, hoping, and people must understand, in the BVI especially, we don't have anybody to help us. We don't have no racinos, we don't have no parimutuel betting. So we depend on the fans and the gate and the little sponsor that we get to make our races what they are. And we're hoping, you know, that in due time, somewhere down the road, the government, this one or one to come, may see the need of trying to see how we can assist horse racing. It's one of our oldest sports in the BVI that is locally actually run. And we're not asking them to open up something to say we're having a gambling ring at the horse track. If you want to have it selective like how they do for the guys that come in for carnival, festival, to have just on that day in question we have the gaming situation, well, fine. But let's look at what it can do for us in the horse racing industry in supporting what we are trying to do, and also to help to build revenue. Because we have a lot of areas, medical, we now create the national insurance scheme. We can even help generate money from that area that would help to, you know, take the load off of us.
I have a text that came in here for you. It said, Lesmo, a stable is required for a group seriously considering purchasing in early February. Are there any stables available, and in what section of the current stable area? We need to know.
Well, and
So
my
it sounds
answer
like
to that
somebody
is,
wants to purchase some horses.
yeah, my answer to that is, I would prefer the person come down. We look at where they would prefer to be. We look at the availability of that area, and then how can we together fix it? Because there have been some improvement on the track. I know the Minister for Education, he was there. Most of us now have already fixed our electrical problems that we had. The Water and Sewage Department is working with us in ensuring that we have water to take care of our horses. We know, I think a lot have happened, and it only could get better if more people get involved. And as again I say, make the parimutuel, if it's only for the one day, but make it feasible where we can not have the strain on the public to always beg them for revenue, or even the government.
Right.
But we can create some revenue base that would help us to improve the stables condition, so the caller wouldn't, the person at the texting wouldn't have to even ask, because we'll be able to take revenue and improve what we have, because we're making something to do that. So it would help us a lot more, because we ourselves have to fix our stable. We don't pay rent. We don't pay rent, we don't pay electricity, we don't pay water. But we take the initiative to fix the stables which we use, occupy, enhance them, take the wires that are all down, the wood that are all out, and make it user-friendly for us. So we're fixing our own environment, because if that's all we can do, that's what we're doing. So if the person wish to come down, and let's see what they're looking at, we can work together.
Now let me ask you a question. First race, January. The stakes at 20,000. What are we saying now for the rest of the year? I mean, the stakes are high in January. Let me ask my racing secretary here. Stakes are high in January. I know we're looking at racing probably once a month, twice a month, if possible, for the rest of the year. We're at the 60th anniversary coming up this year. What should we be looking for? I mean, the statement that you just made would be a nice clip if the government pays attention to it. What are we looking for in those races? I mean, coming up for the 60th. If we start at 20,000 now, what are we saying for August?
For August, I think our Premier Cup would be $20,000, plus the entry fee that the horses would pay to enter the races. So it could get as high as probably $23,000.
Folks, you heard it here. First, you didn't hear it online, you heard it here live at JTB.
Yeah.
On the Sports Desk first.
Usually it's about 20, and with the entry fees at $500 per horse, which is 6 gate, it gets around that area. But for our 60th anniversary, maybe some other gracious person would probably say, well, it's our anniversary, let's come together and tap it up a little bit, and probably make it 30,000.
Yeah, but then, go ahead, Paul.
No, I was just wondering, I don't know if he's in a position to say, but I was wondering what inspired Patsy to to add the additional $5,000 to the Turtle Dove Classic.
Her horse is in there, Paul. She has the
I
confidence.
won't say that. The
No,
president told
no.
me she went to see her about some other business,
Yeah.
and she said she wants to put $5,000.
So she was inspired. It wouldn't be because of a horse, because that would be a vested interest. So
That's
we
good.
should.
As
But
you
if I have
have a
confidence too, it would make it easier.
If you look at the schedule, you say a race is in honor of her. So
Yes.
she have always
She-
been a racing
Yes, she
enthusiast.
has.
She ran the track before when it was
Yeah.
the old track by
Yes, she
next to
has.
Mr. Ellie Stammer's house. So she been there.
Yeah.
She been in the horse racing business. The gate that we're using now, she was the one that purchased it. So that she been in the business. So she have always been a part of the horse racing.
Yeah.
And I would like to add too, when on race days, she's the one that comes and decorate and make it pretty for all of us to enjoy. And she would just throw that in. So she is a community giver,
Yeah.
like the rest of everybody else. So it's something she always, fond of.
I think what I was getting at, what I was alluding to, is if she had a sentimental value to that, why she did it. That's the angle I was looking at.
Maybe they are, but we're not in position to say.
Yeah.
No, what I would like to ask too, what can we expect besides outside of the racing? What could we expect on that day? Are there any special events you guys normally do? Shows and fashion shows and this. Are we looking for anything?
Yeah, there should be modeling.
Modeling, the usual modeling.
Also, the 7 contestants are taking part in
Top seven at 7.
7 top
Yeah.
7. They should be
They should
taking
be there
part.
performing.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we should be looking at a little.
A lot more activity in between.
In between
Okay,
the
so we
races.
should have a callers coming again. Wow, it's getting exciting this evening. Paul,
Go ahead, just take the call.
good evening. You on Sports Desk?
Yes, good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
evening.
Good evening.
Well, man.
Yeah, I was just wondering, since that the BI Triple Crown fall through, if the BVI wouldn't use the opportunity and we create our own Triple Crown, the BVI Triple Crown with 3 major races, attracting the other horses from the other islands to participate.
Them-
Okay.
Yeah.
There is a secretary, he shouted Mr. Smith, so I guess he's putting me not in sports desk but the hot seat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, to me that may be a good idea because that should be something you started fresh. But for what was started, a Triple Crown with 3 islands,
Yeah.
and one was somewhat going to be excluded, it doesn't make it a Triple Crown again.
Correct.
Because it can't be 3 again after it come down to 2.
Right.
So if we, what we can probably do, like how we have this one running as the Virgin Islands Classic, maybe we can have something like the St. Thomas have the Triple Tiara. We can probably say, well, I wouldn't you go back to a Triple Crown. I would say a Triple Sprint Classic or something, something else. But I think it's better to find another name for it, so it won't be conflicting.
Right.
Yes.
It would be our original.
It's something that we could look forward to.
Thank you.
Right.
Because it's something that we now created, and not something that was in existence. It seemed like we greedy and we take it over. No. Create something new, and we can go from there. Because St. Thomas have the Triple Tiara,
Right.
where horses from each island can go and run.
Right.
Then we put something different, but not a Triple Crown, because you don't want to make it look like you undermine what we started.
Right. Right.
But Carla, it was indeed, it's a good idea, because we can look at how we can foster something from it, but using a different name.
Okay, well, folks, we're getting near the close of the end. I know you guys want to reiterate the races again, so if you want to go ahead,
Yeah, why not? Let's
let everybody know. 6 races on Sunday, 6 exciting races. We're going to give them to you again.
We have 6 exciting races on Sunday. The first race, the Island Passing Classic, 6.5 furlong for Class C and D horses, D and E horses. Number 1, Man from the Hill. Number 2, Don't Hook My Halo, making her debut at St. Croix. Joshua, belong to my good friend here on my left, making his debut on Priority Express. Race number 2, the Alva Sil Showdown, 7 furlong for Class C and D horses. Unguided Missile out of St. Croix did not make the trip. Shot the Bandit, Power 10, Good Boy Daddy, What's Popping out of St. Thomas, and Clutch did not make the trip out of St. Croix. Race number 3, the Patsy Lake Invitation, 7 furlong for fillies and mare for Class C and D horses. Number 1, Selena So Mad, making her debut out of St. Thomas. We have True Essence, Orithia, Miss Homer and Peace Philly did not make the trip out of St. Croix. Race number 4, the William Reimer Rumble, 1 mile for Class C and D horses. We have Tiger Glide of the St. Thomas, Bye Bye Bye, Square One, Blossom Matthew did not make the trip out of St. Croix, Where's Gap, and Mr. Gold Prospect out of St. Thomas. Race number 5, the Accelerator Special, 1 mile for mares and fillies for Class A and B horses. We have Stephen Got Better out of St. Thomas, Holy Barbara did not make the trip out of St. Croix, Merule out of St. Thomas, and Extra Dinner did not make the trip out of St. Croix. Race number 6, this is a big race, the Totodile Classic, 1 and 1/16 mile for Class A and B horses. We have Brass Note making his debut out of St. Croix, Rough and Royal also making his debut out of St. Croix, Break Up the Game out of St. Thomas making his debut. We have Gamekeeper, Tongue Hall, and Edge Ahead making his debut out of St. Thomas. And post time for the races on Sunday is 1:15 p.m.
There you have it, folks. The lineup, race card for this weekend's action. Once again, in the top race, $20,000 up for grab between St. Thomas, St. Croix, and Tortola. And then those races, we have 2 horses, Gamekeeper and Town Hall, and they're supposed to be defending. Hopefully, one out of the 2 or 1 and 2, we can get 1 and 2, and we can let that money stay here, according to my good friend, Mr. Smith. Earlier, if you guys just checked in, we were talking about basketball. We have a new basketball federation. They're excited to get started. Last weekend games, we had in the 40-plus games. We're down to our playoffs right now. The championships is coming up for netball. So we want you guys to come out. Saturday game starts the playoffs for 40-plus basketball. Come out and see Disciples go up against Cat 5, and come out and see Northside Surfers or Northwest Surfers come up against LE Flyers. That should be exciting, guys. And once again, Paul, we're at the end.
We're in the time of the clock, and
Yes.
According to the caller's idea, we could down the road change the Turtle Love Classic to the, not the Triple Crown Classic, but the something classic. That is actually in essence there. That is the race that he's referring to, because that 6 race has 2 horses for St. Thomas, 2 for St. Croix, and 2 from Tortola.
Yes.
That is the actual classic that he's referring to right there.
So, fellas, once again, we'd like to thank you guys for coming too. I know it's going to be a lot of talk and a lot of walking this weekend. We expect to see you guys after the race. We're going to do the winner circles, as we said, Paul.
Well, I just want to say that Les Moore will buy us all a drink after he wins that race.
Of course. Like you say, he's always a quiet rat, you know?
Well, you know.
So,
I'll be coming to interview him after the race and remind me of what he drink at the Osby.
That's right. So, guys, once again, we'd like to thank you guys for coming through, letting us know what's going on in the race on Sunday. And we hope once the race is done, you guys can come back next week and let us know the follow-up on what happened. So, guys, it's been a pleasure, Paul. We're at the end.
Yeah, until next week, folks. Good sports idea.
Sports Desk is sponsored by Lime, the better, faster 4G network.